everybody, it's your man James, Mr. Quandretters, back again with some more video action for you. Happy All Hallows Eve to you, everyone. Yes, as we all know, today is the day before Halloween, and a very exciting time for me. I told you it's my favorite time of year, so can't wait to get in and do some fun stuff for you. I got something planned for tomorrow, which again we'll talk about that a little bit at the end here. But I'm a little preset here. I'm getting decked out. I got a little ghost faced action there for you from everyone knows from the classic Scream movies. So definitely getting in the holiday spirit around here. And before we get any further into this, and I want to thank you all for joining me today. And this is once again we're going down the lane of artistic appreciation, which for those of you who are new to this, what that is I take a piece of comic art that I own or have owned, and I talk about it and show off why I think it's so cool and what makes it such a special piece for me that I wanted to possess it. So I think it's a little fun thing, showing a little appreciation, as it were, to the great comic artists of the past and the present who are creating all the great works that we've loved and enjoyed for many, many decades. And it's just a little my way of giving a little something back that way. So I hope you all enjoy checking this out. And today we got a big guy. This guy was a biggie. This is one that's a big one for me. Dave Cockrum. That's right. The guy you guys probably know best from his runs on X-Men with Chris Claremont back in like the late 70s and in the early 80s. Yes, that's the man. But we're not going to be looking at X-Men. We're looking at something else that he did. And in fact, this piece of art is the oldest piece of art that I currently own. So this should be something a little special for you. But before I reveal it to you, I want to say if you like what you see here, please drop a like down there on the video to help it out, help out those algorithms. Always appreciate that. Also, any comments you got, if you want to talk about the art you see here, you got some comments on it, drop them down below. Always want to hear what the people got to say. Also, be sure to share out some links so others can come and join us and have some fun checking out some sweet, sweet comic art. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do so yourself so you don't miss any of the content that I'm putting out around here. So with all that out of the way, let's get on into it and check out what we got for you today as far as some artistry goes. So let's get things set up here and share the screen. And here we are. We got Creepy number 42 from 1971 for a story called A Change of Identity. So let's big up the image here for you guys to get it a little bigger. And here, yeah, look at it. It's a classic horror story type thing from the classic creepy stuff of the 70s. And I really love this. I was like, horror is my thing. So it only makes sense. You can't be surprised that I actually own a piece from the classic Warren magazines. But like this one stuck out to me because of the style that Cockrum is using here. Dave Cockrum, his style is very well defined. People know what it looks like. But this, what you guys don't know, this is like the fifth published work he did. His very start was working on some stuff over at Warren Publications, and this is like his fifth work ever. So this is a guy who's just starting out. This is like the earliest days of his artistry, and you can see here it's a very different from what he would become known for, like with his X-Men work and other stuff he did much later. But as you can see here, I love this peppery shading. You see how like here on the arm and on the chest here, on the hand and this face. I mean, I love the body right here. I mean, it's all that soft peppery shading. And I came to find out that you guys probably can't tell from this image here, but there is not a single drop of ink on this page. This page is all in pencil. And if you're saying, well, why is it so dark then if it's all pencils? Well, that's because the pencils that were used was not just your usual graphite pencils. They also used a grease pencil, which if you guys don't know what that term means, a grease pencil is, I'm sure we all remember the old pack of colored pencils that we used to get as kids, and you can sharpen them up, and just like a regular pencil, only the instead of having graphite inside, it's a stick of color that you could use, and you could color with stuff. The black one is known as a grease pencil. So that's why you see so much darkness. This is all done, all this shading, all this, fine, softness and stuff. It's all done with grease pencil. And, but it makes such a beautiful effect. I just love it. And, just a great scene here, of like the the intrepid, sidekick coming to the aid of his master, who, in case you guys need a quick recap of the story here, what happened is this guy was originally a werewolf, but they staked him. And so he died with silver, and so he died. And so his henchman comes along and pulls it up out of him. But in bringing him back, he's now become a vampire, you see. And that's the quote unquote change of identity from werewolf to vampire. And I just love the expressiveness of it all, like this face right here with the little lines above the head of shock. Like I said, this face right here. I mean, look at that. It's just this guy is so like horrid looking. He is a horror character, and you got your awesome looking vampire here. It almost looks like Prince Namor with fangs. You get that ear and that hairline, and it just looks like Prince Namor with fangs to me. But maybe that's just me. But I really loved this work by Cockrum because again, it showed a guy who was hungry at the time. You could probably tell just looking at it, you can see he's hungry. He wants to create great art, and he hadn't developed the rendering style quite the way he had it, like I said, on his X-Men work. But I like this style better. I think I don't know what it is. There's a softness to it. There's a looseness to it. It doesn't feel so tight, so angular as some of his stuff later would be. I like, the smooth lines, like on the jawline right here. Like I said, the details in the hand. I mean, that's just insane. That level of detail. I mean, he must have been looking at his actual hand when he was drawing it. I mean, it's just so detailed, so fine. You got a little gore in there too. I love that. A little bit of gore, just a touch. Doesn't go overboard with it, just enough to make the point. And then he leaves it up to you to go from there. But I just love this. The story is by Don Glut, who was well known for doing a lot of Warren stuff. And in fact, until a couple years ago when he passed, he was even doing stuff at the new company that's been doing that stuff called Warrant Publications. And but I think they were a victim of the Diamond bankruptcy. I don't think you see them around anymore. They were one of the ones that got lost, which is sad because I really enjoyed the Warrant magazines. Reminding me so much of the old Warren magazines. But yes, this is Don Glut, same guy who did that. And here's the thing: you can see up here it says, "Wait, what's this?" It says Eerie number 37. James, I thought you said this was from Creepy number 42. Well, if you go down here, you can see there it is. They scratched it all out, and they changed it. So originally, this was probably originally going to be an Eerie number 37, but they must have had a last minute change for change of identity, no less, and they got moved into Creepy number 42 instead. But and I again the softness, the subtleness in these shadows. I mean, this is like on par with guys like Gene Colan. With the way he, Gene is known as the master of light and shadow. But Cockrum shows he got some skills with it too here, and I really, really enjoyed it. If we look at the published page, which isn't going to add too much more, but since it's in black and white, but you can see here, it translated pretty well. I mean, let's go back for a minute. Let's look at the Igor right up here, and then let's go over. It translated pretty faithfully, this grease pencil. You didn't lose a lot of detail like sometimes you do when you've seen it before. I've shown you some stuff where sometimes when you see the color added on, it washes out some of the detail, or if it's in black and white, some maybe it doesn't, the scan of it doesn't translate as well. Like you saw with the last one I did with Bud Root, you saw the image I had from the page from the published book, and it looked a little more washed out. Some of the gray tones that he used in that image got washed out, and it was much lighter than the art you saw the original piece was. But here with this grease pencil, it really translated very well against what it actually was in the original art. And I just found that very fascinating, that sometimes older techniques, we see technologies help bring us so far and added so much, but in some ways I think it takes away, because as this shows you here, the old ways still have their value. And I really like how the translation from the art to the actual published work, you don't see a lot of loss. And that's not something you would expect, especially of art of this time period. We're talking over 50 years. This thing is older than I am. And, so just seeing that the translation works so well with the grease pencil and not a single drop of ink on the page I thought was pretty interesting, an interesting side effect there of the process of the time. So just definitely. And then of course we got our cover here, You know, yeah, we all know why kids were buying the creepy and the eerie and stuff and Vampirella. It was the porn for kids who couldn't buy the porn of the time. This is their version. But again, this San Julian cover is just really spectacular. Again, look at the details he gets, in the cape, the shadows, the folds, the bends, just very well done. And I like the ghostly image in the background behind her. Very nice. Very, again, this is just classic 70s style of the time. This is how it was, with guys like Frazetta and San Julian and others out there doing these incredible painted works. They're just, even today, you see what guys today can't stand up to what guys like this were doing back then, and it's just really amazing. But again, this was a good one. This was a fun one. Just to set you up for Halloween here. Get a little vampire action with his little henchman, and a little touch of gore. Just to get you set up for Halloween tomorrow. That's why I specifically held this one off. I said, now I'm going to save this one for Halloween. And so here we are with the Halloween edition of the Artist Appreciation, showing you Dave Cockrum in some of his earliest work, doing horror over on the Warren Magazine's Creepy number 42. This is a beautiful piece. I'm very happy to own it. I was so surprised that it was available. When I saw it on the website of the dealer I got it from, I'm surprised nobody's grabbed this yet. Seeing that this is such an early work by a legend in the industry like Dave Cockrum, and just it's there's really something special when you get an early work from an artist who went on to do bigger and better things. When you had there's just something about it, the rawness. Maybe it's like, is there a rawness in this work that you didn't see in his later work because he had established himself? Maybe he didn't feel the pressure to have to perform, to have to prove himself. But here you can see it. Like it's in all the little details, all that soft shading, all the camera angles, the close-ups. You can see a guy who's trying to prove his worth. You can see him out there. He's pushing himself in ways that he probably wasn't later in his career. And so it really makes it a lot of fun for me to have a piece like this. So yeah, definitely one that I enjoyed. Definitely one I'm glad to have. Creepy number 42 by Dave Cockrum, A Change of Identity. And there we have it. Another one in the books, folks. Another Artistry Appreciation. I hope you guys enjoyed checking that out. I enjoyed bringing it to you. Maybe you learned a little something, about the grease pencil and things of that nature. So if little bit of knowledge along with the fun. But that's about all for this video here. But before I go, I want to remind you that tomorrow night I am doing a special live stream, the Sequential Treasures Geektacular Bonanza, Halloween Geektacular Bonanza. And I got some stuff lined up for you guys, some fun stuff. So we're going to have a little fun with that. And I will bring that to you. And also be sure, if you haven't already, make sure to check out the Why It's Great. I just posted up yesterday for Halloween. Also, another one I kind of got into trying to give you guys up for the Halloween themes of this weekend. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Be sure to join me tomorrow for the live stream. And again, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share out links and all the good stuff. And I will be back tomorrow with a live stream event for you. I hope you can be there with me, and we're all going to have a good time. So until then,